So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video on our JAMB biology exam revision series, we have here 20 questions to answer on the topic cell structure and functions of cell components. So guys, in short, stay till the end of this video. At any point where you feel you want to answer any of the questions, you can always pause the video and try out the answer to the question even before we provide the answer thereafter. So guys, let's consider the first question here first. We have, which of the following statements best describes the structure of living things? A. Living things are composed of molecules and atoms that interact to form complex structures. B. Living things are composed of organs and organ systems that are organized into cells and tissues. C. Living things are composed of cells that are organized into tissues, organs, and organ systems. D. Living things are composed of tissues that are organized into cells, organ, and organ systems. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C. Living things are composed of cells that are organized into tissues, organs, and organ systems. So out of all the options we have here, guys, the correct answer that best defines living things is option C. So let's quickly look at the next question, guys, and that's question number 2. Here the question says the organelle responsible for respiration in moneyrons is A. Golgi bodies, B. Mitochondria, C. Mesosomes, D. Lysosomes. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C, and that's the mesosomes. So let's consider the next question. Question number 3, it says the membrane surrounding the vacuole in plant cell is called the A. Endoplasmic reticulum, B. Plasmalemma, C. Nuclear membrane, D. Tonoplast. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's the tonoplast. The membrane surrounding the vacuole in plant cell is called the tonoplast. So let's consider the next question. Question number 4. It says, which subjects are you doing? Actually, this is more like a bonus question. You know that the subject we are currently on here, guys, is biology, and that's option D here. So let's consider the next question, and that's question number 5. It says, which of the following cell organelle eliminates water from the body of the protozoa? A. Protoplasm, B. Contractile vacuole, C. Nucleus, and D. Plasma membrane. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's the contractile vacuole. The contractile vacuole is responsible for osmoregulation, and that's the cell organelle that eliminates water from the body of the protozoan. So let's look at the next question. Question number 6. It says cell can be grouped into dash groups: A 4, B 5, C 2, and D 3. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C, and that's 2. The cells can be grouped into 2 groups. We have the prokaryotic cells, and then you have the eukaryotic cells. The prokaryotic cells are those ones which do not have a membrane-bound nucleus, whereas the eukaryotic cells are the ones that have a membrane-bound nucleus. So in prokaryotic cells, the DNA materials are scattered just within the cytoplasm, whereas in eukaryotic cells, the DNA materials are found inside the nucleus, and that's because the nucleus has a nuclear envelope. So the nucleus has a membrane in the eukaryotic cell. So that's what distinguishes the prokaryotes from the eukaryotes. I believe you guys should understand this explanation. Nonetheless, let's consider the next question. That's question number 7. It says, which of the following is a characteristic of the animal cell? A. Absence of large vacuole, B. Presence of small vacuole, C. Possession of cell wall, D. Presence of chloroplast. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's presence of small vacuole. The characteristic of an animal cell is the presence of small vacuole, or even the non-existence of the vacuole. So in animal cells, the vacuole most times do not exist, and if present is usually small. So let's look at the next question, guys, and that's question number 8. It says, which of the following is a characteristic feature of an animal cell? A, nucleus. C, central vacuole. C, cell wall. D, chloroplast. So guys, the only feature here that is found in animals is the position of nucleus. Animals do not have a centrally placed vacuole as seen in plants. Animals also do not have a cell wall, they only possess a cell membrane. Animals also do not have the chloroplasts because they are not producers, they are not primary producers, they do not possess the chlorophyll, so there is no chloroplast. So guys, in this situation, we're choosing option A, and that's the only characteristic feature that is found in the animal cell, and that's the nucleus. So let's consider the next question, question number 9. The digestive system is made up of the following organs except A, esophagus, B, duodenum, C, kidney, and D, stomach. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's the kidney. The kidney is part of the urinary system and not the digestive system. So let's consider the next question, guys. Question number 10. It says, which of the following organelles is used for locomotion in paramecium? A, pellicle. B, trichocyst. C, pseudopodium, and D, cilium. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's the cilium. Let's consider the next question, question number 11. It says, use the diagram below to answer the question that follows. Here we have the animal cell, and it's correctly labeled with Roman numerals I, and IV, and the question here says the part labeled II is responsible for A, excretion, B, protein synthesis, C, photosynthesis, and D, respiration. So guys, the part labeled II is mitochondria, and it has a function in respiration. So the answer to this question is option D, and that's respiration. So guys, let's consider the next question here, and that's question number 12. The question says, protein-like bodies are born on the parts labeled A, V, B, II, C, III, D, IV. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's II. The protein-like bodies are born on these parts labeled II, and that's the pyrenoid. This pyrenoid is essentially used for storage of starch. So let's look at the next question, and that's question number 13. It says, which of the following substances is contained in the chloroplast? A, glycogen. B, sugar. C, dextrin, and D, starch. So guys, the correct answer here to this question is option D, and that's the starch. The chloroplast is where photosynthesis takes place in plants and algae. So during photosynthesis, light energy is converted to chemical energy, which happens to result in the formation of starch. Therefore, guys, the chloroplast will contain the starch. So let's consider the next question, and that's question number 14. It says the nucleus is considered the central organelle of a cell because it A, is bound by a nuclear membrane, B, is located at the center of the cell, C, contains the nuclear sap, D, contains the genetic material. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that contains the genetic material. So guys, let's quickly look at the next question here. That's question number 15. It says, which of the following is a difference between plant and animal cells? A, plant cells contain chloroplasts for photosynthesis, while animal cells do not. B, plant cells have a cell membrane, while animal cells have a cell wall. Plant cells have a nucleus, while animal cells do not. D. Plant cells have a central vacuole, while animal cells have multiple small vacuoles. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's plant cells contain chloroplasts for photosynthesis, while animal cells do not. That's the major difference between the plant cell and the animal cells. So let's consider the next question, guys. Question number 16, it says, which of the following best describes the relationship between a cell and its environment? A. Cells are only influenced by their environment during cell division. B. Cells can control and manipulate their environment. C. Cells constantly interact with and respond to their environment. D. Cells are completely isolated from their environment. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C. That's cells constantly interact with and respond to their environment. So let's consider the next question. Question number 17, it says, the following organelles can be found in plant and animal cells except A. Nucleus, B. Cytoplasm, C. Cell wall, and D. Nuclear membrane. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's the cell wall. Animal cells do not have the cell wall. So let's consider the next question, guys, and that's question number 18. The question says, the structure that is most commonly identified in all living cells under the light microscope is the A. Chloroplast, B. Ribosome, C. Nucleus, D. Mitochondrion. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's the nucleus. The nucleus can be identified in all cell types under the light microscope. So let's consider the next question, question number 19. Here it's with the diagram, and the question says, endoplasmic reticulum is represented by the part labeled A. II, B. IV, C. III, D. I. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option B, and that's the IV. The part labeled IV is the endoplasmic reticulum. So guys, let's look at the next question and the last, and that's question number 20. Which of the following cell organelles is a site for the production of ATP? So we have A. Lysosome, B. Nucleus, C. Ribosome, and D. Mitochondrion. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option D, and that's the mitochondrion. The mitochondrion is a site for production of ATP. That's why you often call the mitochondrion the powerhouse of the cell, and ATP is the energy unit of the cell. So guys, that makes sense because the energy unit of the cell is found in the powerhouse of the cell. So guys, that's where we'll end the video for today. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video with your friends to enable us reach out to more people. Also, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please guys, subscribe to this channel in order to get updates when we post new videos here. If you have any specific question regarding this lesson, please drop your question on the comment section below, and we'll be sure to give you a response. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next time.